And Alan, can you still hear the music?
Hit, hit,
Okay, good.
don't forget the chord. Welcome to IntervisionFM.com. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Oh my God.
That's who we love and that's who we serve.
Is running out? Hi, everybody. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. I tell you, this business is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown saying, stay with it and hit it. Okay, thank you, baby.
Okay, okay, we are here live and in person with 1 minute to go.
Hoorah!
Yes. Today is well, it's more relaxing. Okay, for people who don't know, it's like me and Alan, we both have false eyes, right? And
Right.
sometimes, I might leave one eye out and just wear sunglasses for a long time because I say, I get in one of those moods. And so I noticed that when I went to see my doctor, he didn't even try to open the eye because it was like, just closed. So I said, let me try it. Let me put my plastic eyes back in again. And man, that is a because my eyes, if you don't put something in there, it closes, And so, man, I was wrestling with this morning and finally got it back in and said, okay.
The thing about that, folks, if you want to help us get plastic eyeballs and all kinds of crazy stuff, they cost about, I think it's
600 or more?
$500 or $7,000 a
Oh,
set.
yeah.
What I
Yeah.
would love to do is, get a couple of cat eyes or a couple of like maybe some different scenes, like a snowstorm in one eyeball and a blue sky setting in another eyeball.
I did
No,
do that one time. The cat eyes, people was like, how, your eyes are so beautiful. I said, I know. I had them specially made.
actually,
I think,
in all seriousness, folks, if you like our content, hit us up at paypal.me/IntervisionDenver. We need to help keep the lights on so that we can bring fun and interesting content surrounding current events like we got going today. We got a fun show. We're going to
uh,
talk a little bit about Ivana Trump and God rest her soul. My condolences to the Trump family. And we're going to talk about animals. We got a story about Ivana Trump's loved one that she may have left millions in her will to make provision for this loved
yeah.
one. We're going to talk a little bit about a bear that made a wrong decision, and so stay tuned for that.
Oh, yeah.
And uh, we're going to talk about birds. Something about a stork. So stay tuned with that.
Yeah. And
And
yeah, and also this good Samaritan that he was a good guy with a G.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
Which is it's not getting very much play in the news because it's not part of the narrative. It's supposed to be like we're supposed to sit there like sitting ducks and let people mow us down and wait for the police to come. But this 20, I think it was like 21-year-old, he says, "Hey, I took the classes. I know what to do, and I'm going to do better than those policemen down in San Antonio, Texas." So that's cool. But let's see. Okay, but let's. It was something else I wanted to do. Oh, also, before we get into this, here in our illustrious Colorado, Polis is doing more. So he says he was going to do like a tax cut for the for the older people, like 60 and older, because they're a voter block that you can count on them. But what he's going to do is he's going to take our Tabor money, which is our tax funds, and he's going to transfer that money over to the senior citizens to also bribe them with some tax money, which is ours plus their money on top of that. So Polis is trying all kinds of ways to bribe people, and then he said he's going to delay these fees that have passed, and he's going to extend that after he gets elected. But of course, if you're foolish enough to elect him, he's not going to extend them. He's going to let them go through, so you'll be charged a higher price for your house, business, and everything like that. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Polis, most Democrats are liars. Politicians, just there's very rarely that you find a honest one. So anyway, I just want to get that out of the way. I was listening to the show this morning, and when I heard that, I said, "Oh man, I got to put that out there." Are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes,
Yeah, I'm done with my rant. And the girl says,
How dare you?
"Okay, all right." So, shall we start with? Before we get into the show, last night, Sailor, he's doing our show, and he's really doing it from, I guess it's 6 o'clock his time, but it's 5 o'clock our time. But anyway, he's doing a 3-hour show on Intervision FM. The guy is really doing a fantastic job with him and his partner, and I don't remember his partner's name. And then I guess he has this little Zoom room where people can come in and they can watch him do the show, and so he did country music last night. So I had to request Blake Shelton and God's Country.
hoorah!
So tonight he's going to do Christian contemporary, and then I forgot what he was going to do. And then let's see, Monday he did a mix of R&B, rock, and pop, and I'm not sure what he's going to do Thursday night, but it's going to be exciting. So anyway, so catch that new show, and on Facebook I have them all listed as well. I got to pin that since they wanted me to spend $170, but I said hell no, I'm only going to spend $34. Oh man, Facebook and Zuckerberg butts. I don't want to be a over contributor to that kind of shenanigans. But anyway, let's get into this story. Let's talk about the bear first.
So, from what I understand, I guess the bear decided he would have an easy meal of a couple of pigs that were stuck in a pen. So, they couldn't get away. So it's kind of like food in a can for us. The bear figured, well, this is similar. I'm going to go on in there and I'm going to give them what for, and I'm going to have me an easy meal. I guess these pigs
Pork
had a
chops.
pretty bad day. It was hot, and it was a situation where they gave him a run for his money. What happened, Johnny?
Yeah, these pigs, they were really territorial about their pig pen, and they doubled up on this bear, and pretty much chased them back out of the pen. And I guess in pig pens they do have some grub in there too. So he thought easy meal, maybe it's a little pork chop on the side, but that just wasn't happening. And there's a video on Twitter, which I had the link, but I said since I couldn't audio describe it, somebody did get an audio video of the happenings. So there you go. When the bear stops looking for honey, sometimes some extra some is not going to work. Oh, and speaking of honey, ladies and gentlemen, if you get the honey in the stores that look like the bear, I don't know if you ever got the honey that they shape it like a bear.
Yeah.
Well, it just came out that China is manufacturing that, but they want to make money. So what they do is they send it to another country to come to here, and it might have less than 1% real honey, but it has some other chemicals in there that looks and tastes like honey, but it's some other chemical manufactured stuff. And people really read the labels because there's China trying to make more money by saying it's honey, but it's not real honey. And if you have a local farmer here, which we do, we go down to the farmers market. Support your local farmer for the honey.
If you want money.
Huh?
Absolutely.
Honey if you want money.
Yeah, eat honey if you want money. Yes. Oh man.
Yeah, locally grown honey is always the best because it is tailor made for the demographic that we live in. So, for instance, Colorado grown honey is good for Colorado natives or people who have lived in Colorado for quite some time. It just helps with allergens and this kind of thing, as well as awesome food source. Honey,
Definitely.
I don't know if you knew this, but it can actually last for thousands upon thousands of years
Wow.
if it's stored properly. What ends up happening to it is it does crystallize after it's been sitting for a while, but it's still absolutely edible, apparently, after thousands of years. I wouldn't know because I'm not that old yet. But,
Yes. So
Yeah.
so that was just something I sometimes I hear these random things, and then something triggers it, and I wasn't even thinking about that when I was writing down that story, but yeah, that triggered that story that I heard about the China people trying to, or not the people, the government trying to get over on America once again, and but anyway. So today is well, considered to be somewhat of a sad day, or it can be considered like her graduating to the next level, depending on if she was saved or not, or a Christian or not.
right.
And just if you haven't read like some of the circumstances, I guess she was having hip problems, and she had stairs in her New York. What was it called? Apartment or house, whatever. And I guess she was going up or down the stairs, and who knows if somebody would have been there, maybe it wouldn't have turned out that way. But I guess it was trauma to the chest because the way she fell. And I'm thinking, man, okay, my mother's house. I think we have still like it's kind of like plastic, but underneath that plastic is cement. But I know some houses they have very thick carpet, so if you fall, you may get bruised up a little bit, but it's not going to be like falling directly on the brick, the stone and stuff like that. And so I'm surprised that she didn't have that those stairs like padded, since she had to go up and down the stairs. But maybe they were in 73 is 73.
Yeah, 73 is 73. And I do know from personal experience, when you take a bad fall, like I did about a year and a half ago or so, when I broke about 4 or 5 of my ribs, boy, I'll tell you, I had to literally tell my body to not shut down. I had to literally, calmly and as much as I can, just conserve my strength, get to where I needed to get to, so that I could get some help.
Now that was on ice, right? It was like in the winter on ice.
Yeah. I fell on ice and busted about 4 of my ribs, landed right on the concrete. And I will tell you, my heart was beating and skipping and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I'm laying there, and I lay there for about a half hour thinking, well, certainly somebody saw me fall. Maybe they'll come and help or whatever, because I can't move, I can't breathe, I can't anything. And nobody came to help. And so I had to get up. I had to crawl back to my the door of my apartment, and well, then at that point, a neighbor saw me and he helped me out a little bit. But man, if it hadn't have been for uh, I don't know what you want to call that. If it hadn't have been
Good,
for
another good.
intestinal fortitude, if it hadn't have been for the Lord Jesus Christ literally giving me the strength, I don't know whether I'd be here today, man. So all that to say, short story long, we don't know how much time we have, rich or poor. We all die, and it matters how we live, and it matters what we do. And Ivana Trump was well respected by everybody she knew, and towards the end of her life, apparently this dog that she had, Tiger, is a possible recipient in her will. So it could be that she may have left her fortune to go ahead and take care of this dog. I wouldn't know. I've not read the will, and the will has not yet been made public, if it ever will be made public.
Yeah, that's true. But dogs don't have a long lifespan anyway. So it's got to be like number two, number three after the dog is gone. Maybe the person who's going to take care of the dog will get a little bit of some as
Right.
well. You know.
Right.
Yeah. So and I know, of course, children, of course, the three children, and then she asked it when people come to her funeral today. Now I wasn't invited. Alan, did you get your invitation in the mail?
I haven't checked my mailbox just yet. I suspect that I was forgotten once again. It's
So
not going to be breath looking for it.
yeah, but she says to donate to some dog uh, nonprofit in your area, and I think she might have even named like a Pacific one. But anyway, so for you guys, go out there, donate to a dog foundation, and in remembrance of Ivana Trump. Right. Oh, and all right, here's let's see. Let me ask. Oh, let's see. Hey, Sailor, how are you doing?
Oh, cool.
Hey.
So Tony is sitting here talking with a guy by the name of Taylor. He is got some new content out. So we're going to get the schedule ironed out as to the actual times. I think it's 6 p.m. To 9 p.m. Texas time. Works out to be 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And for those who calculate on Universal Standard Time Zone, that would be 1300. Anyway, we'll get the the actual schedule on.
Okay. All right. Because I sent the schedule off to Sailor, but I don't think he's looking very closely because he doesn't realize that my podcast is on at 9 o'clock. But he was telling me about the playlist that he's putting together for the night. So after I talk to you, Alan, then I'll go back to him and talk to him about some
Okay.
stuff. But
Okay.
but anyway, so I think we ended we ended the thing on Ivana Trump. Okay, and then
Yep.
now let's go to this other guy. Let me see it. Let me get it. Let me get his Elijah Dickerson. Now this is what you want if somebody is pulling out their gun and they're shooting randomly people, you want this gentleman to be there because the police might not get there. Well, they may get there like maybe 2 minutes, 15 minutes, but this guy was there in 15 seconds. And from what I heard described, this kid saw this guy coming towards the food court, and he says, "Grandma, it looks like that guy has a gun." And so he told him, get down, move away, right? And the guy was able to get off like 3 shots and killed 3 people, a 12-year-old, a 30-year-old, and a 36-year-old. But before, I guess he was going to go load up some more. Um, this young man, Elijah Dickinson, popped him a good one and sent him to hell where he belongs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
This
morning.
happened
Oh,
in Indiana, shopping
hey,
mall.
yeah. I was just talking about this last story because it hasn't gotten much news play because, of course, everybody wants gun control, gun control. They want us to be like Venezuela, um, some other countries that the government has the guns, but the people don't. And so if the government tells you to do something and you don't like it, the government say, well, we got the guns, you better do it. But in America, the government tells us that we have to do something and we don't agree with that because we know it's not constitutional. We could say, you guys can beat Sam, right? And so yeah, in this mall, he was there. He was trained on how to use his gun, and unlike those policemen in San Antonio, he didn't wait 70 minutes.
Right, that was crazy.
He caught it in 15 seconds, and he thought it was longer. He said, "Man, I wish I would have saw it before he got off those first shots and killed those first 3 people." But 15 seconds is pretty good.
Looks like
Yeah.
the active shooter in the mall was using a 5.56 rifle. I think that's a bolt action weapon. I'm not familiar with that thing, but yeah, quite interesting because a bad guy's going to find a way around any gun control measures. If he wants to do some mayhem, he's going to make the attempt. So that is why, in my mind, an armed society is a polite society. You never know if anyone's packed. So therefore, it kind of keeps the dishonest people from being a danger to folks.
And
Yeah.
somebody on the left, whatever, they had a problem with them using the word "good Samaritan" for this guy that saved a whole bunch of people. He wasn't able to save the first 3, but he saved a whole bunch of people that would have been mowed down if he had have been there to do that in 15 seconds. And I consider him to be a good Samaritan because what was the
Me
story?
too.
Yeah, the Good Samaritan, the priest came by, went on the other side of the street. Another guy came by, went on the other side of the street. But the one guy, the Samaritan, said, wait a minute, let me go take care of this guy, put him on his donkey, took him to a town,
Right.
gave him, gave the innkeeper some money and said, I'm going to come back through here, and if I owe you more, I'll pay you that. So,
Mm.
there's many ways you can be a good Samaritan, and stopping an active shooter is probably one of, like, in the days world, is probably my number one kind of thing. so,
Man.
I'm
so
definitely
I mean, I'm proud of the guy because at the end of the day, whether you Democrat or Republican, I think more of the public and people who have guns should step up if they can. And after that lapse with the police standing in a hallway for 70 minutes, it's sad that civilians was willing to go in. They said that actual civilians and people was willing to go in to rescue their kids.
oh yeah,
You
because
know, it's
they were just
sad.
they were just bleeding out, really. Some of them
Yeah.
just, yeah. So and they were showing that, and it was like nobody was willing to step up until the one guy said, "Hey, I'm doing this." But a lot of other people did, and they handcuffed one mother, but her child wasn't in that classroom, but she went in there.
Mm.
She went in there, and so it's like, yeah. And I guess I don't. Well, I guess in the days of the video, I guess the TV channel put it out before the family had to see the video in private, and they weren't getting any answers from the people that were in charge, and I guess they knew they had messed up, and
Oh, big time. They messed up big time.
So they just wanted to just drag it out, and it's like this is
Yeah,
crazy
you
now.
can't drag it out like that. I mean, you got people losing their lives and they did nothing. Them people did nothing.
Yeah, here in Colorado, we had one at the school, and this kid named Esteel, he actually jumped the guy, which and then the other teens jumped. Well, he got shot when he was going to jump, and but then it would give a chance for two other boys to jump on the boy and wrestle the gun away from him. But
Right.
but even this young man, 17 years old, had some guts and used his body as a shield and sacrificed his life to save a bunch of other people.
Mm.
So it's just I don't know. It's like I guess we watch those movies and we see the heroes, and bullets are flying everywhere and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And you would like to think that well, if I was in that situation, I got the gun.
I would do. Yeah,
But
most
it's like
people wouldn't do that. I'm gonna tell you right now because the fact that you know, not carrying the gun, yeah, I'm going to do what I need to do to get out of there. But if I have a gun, I'm going, you're gonna have to shoot back. But if you don't, you're gonna have to make a way to try to get out of there. And that's just what that is. It's not about being a coward. It's not about being any of that. It's
yeah,
about, you know,
yeah. And
truth.
and I want to talk. Yesterday we were talking about like okay, windmills, solar power. Uh, which one is better, than gas and coal? And I guess down in Texas, are they what 80% windmills and what is this, solar power, or how much? Do you know how much percent they are down there? Because last year they had this big blackout. With
Yeah, that out here, they still want to push for coal power and things like that, just due to the fact that we need something more reliable until all this other whatever comes reliable. It's fine to blend it in with what we have, but to solely switch to something that's not as reliable, uh, Texas just cannot do that for the geographical reasons. We really don't have mountains. We need to have, we have sections in Texas where wind can work, but when it's 100 degrees and 110 degrees and that wind ain't blowing, uh, you're gonna have a catastrophe and stuff. And we have to find a way to store that power more efficiently. Right now, we don't really have efficient ways to store solar power efficiently, so that if it goes offline, do we have battery power to store that? Right now, efficiently, the answer is no. And so Texas and other states like us, we are going to have to continue to use other sources that are more dependable, that may not be liked by other communities, coal or whatever, but people don't want to sit in the dark, and people are willing to do whatever to not do that out here in Texas, because we had to suffer through that. I had to suffer through that. It was absolutely horrific, and I never want to go through that. I would preferably
yeah. Oh, did we lose you?
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm
there you
here.
are. There you are. Yeah, and this guy in this talk show, he heard of somebody that was sitting in the house putting water in their face, with a fan, and he said he was having people say, if you need a fan, he said you can get it off of Amazon for $160. He says I'll buy you.
Oh my.
Call in and I'll buy as many of those fans as I can. That I guess they fit on the outside of the window and they blow like cold air, but then again, you still got to have the electrical power to run those things.
To run the stuff. That's the thing
Yeah,
that people don't understand. We don't live in the 1800s where I'm gonna sit in my living room and pedal my feet. No, sister, brother. We live in a modern society where you need electricity for stuff to run, and unfortunately, a lot of America's lazy, and they're not gonna be doing other options. So people aren't gonna jump on bikes to have power. Like, people aren't doing that. So
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not. I
man.
mean, I was saw a hotel where they had the guest. How would you like to be welcome to a hotel. Well, if you were like power, step on bike 14. Like, no, nobody's finna step on the bike to power their computer. Like, some of this stuff that we have, it makes no sense in some ways because you have to continually to pedal the bike so that the power runs.
Good exercise, but
That's crazy.
if you're not in that good of a shape, I mean, I don't know how that's going to
Your
work out.
bike might not, your computer might not light up. That's the thing. So you have to be in good shape to do that. I tried something like that at a place, and you really do have to pedal hard, and you have to do, at least for 30 minutes. And people aren't going to sit on their bikes and pedal for 30 minutes the whole time. So I don't know. I just don't know how efficient things like that would be. Just simply because people might not physically be able to do it. We need regular electricity, and we need stuff that's reliable. And I say that we really do, because people are losing their lives out here because people want to use us as a project. We're not a project. We're people. And our political officials and all this other stuff that took trips, and we suffered. They're Republicans, and they did nothing while we sit here in the dark. So whether you Democrat or Republican, if you live in your life and you living it in the dark, wake up, because people out here in Texas are losing their lives because of extreme heat
What,
and other issues.
didn't Ted Cruz leave?
They left the state and other people.
Yeah. I
That
think
was
that was during
crazy.
the winter. I think that was during it was
Yes.
like a winter storm, and he left and went to a sunnier place. And
Yeah,
then
he talking about I want to get warm and all that, man. People who aren't Republicans, soul ain't trying to hear that. And whether you Republican or not, well, they soul ain't trying to hear it, because at the end of the day, Republicans, everybody, a lot of people, millions of people was left in the dark, and your political affiliation didn't matter. I told this white dude, I said, I'm gonna keep it 100. Your political affiliation doesn't matter when you sitting in the dark. Are they here for you? No. The Republicans ain't coming to your house to turn on the lights. Who do you vote for? Shoot, in this moment, nobody. At
and they
the
probably
end of
got their own generator. They probably got their own.
Yeah, they have a Generac generator. A lot of these people had Generac generators, and I'm gonna tell you right now, shout out to Generac. Y'all need to be sponsored by them. Tell them shout out, because that's a great generator, and that sucker runs. At the end of the day, get stuff like that, because I bet you when I get a house, you're not allowed to have that in an apartment. But if I get a house, that's the first thing I'm getting. A generator, because I'm never fit to be left in the dark ever again. No.
Yeah,
Generacs.
Hey, next week I'm getting ready to leave. So Monday I got to get my test, my test, because I'm going to Estonia, and they still require testing. So I'm going to get it at 10 o'clock. So Monday I won't be doing a show, but Tuesday we'll be back, and then Wednesday we'll be flying out to Estonia again, and then Monday we'll pick up the show again. So just want to give everybody a heads up.
If you folks want to become a sponsor of the show, hit us up at info@intervisionfm.com. That's our email. In the subject line, just go ahead and express your wish to become a sponsor. Tell us a little bit about your company, and we'll see if we can make a partnership happen. Two final things before we leave today. SaveTheStork.com. What is that, Johnny?
That is just a place where if a woman is pregnant or something like that, and she doesn't want to kill her baby, she can go there and get it adopted, or if she needs money to help survive, they help her with that as well. So they just provide some very positive services.
That's a
for
blessing,
women.
man.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, that's a blessing, because I went through the Gladney Center, which is similar to what you're talking about. And it's the best decision I ever made. I told somebody, you can be mad at me every day, but I wouldn't want to raise a kid in the middle of stuff that's going on like this. Can you imagine having to raise a kid with no baby formula, with all these issues? I told somebody the truth, I'd have a nervous breakdown. So I know that giving my child up was the best decision. Now that I look back at all this that's going on, thank you, God, for places like what you're talking about, because not everybody wants to kill their kid. I didn't. And I thank God every day.
I got to tell you,
use any excuse.
I'm gonna tell you this little story.
Mm.
My first girlfriend I ever lived with, I knew that she wasn't child type of raised kids, and so I was at
Okay.
work, so my friend took her down to get birth control, and the nurse kept on saying, "Oh, how come you guys are young? You're 20 and 18 years old. How come you're outside the family?" And I said, "I know that she's not a baby person. So when we broke up, she had 5 kids. All of them were taken away." All of them. And I'm thinking like
Wow.
I just knew that she wasn't that person.
So
Some people
visit,
aren't.
Yeah.
so so visit SaveTheStork.com. Uh,
Okay.
Another thing being this, just recently, children ages 6 months to 5 years can now get the jab. Um, there's a
Mm.
bunch coming out that indicates that maybe the jab isn't quite what we've been told it was. Uh, there's a way to
Uh-oh.
go and get some pointers and some advice on uh, how to counteract some of the side effects. Go to react19.org and check out that website. And you know, it's something that we definitely want to keep an eye on. Is what is best for our bodies, what is best for our
For
children,
real.
and that kind
Do
of
we
thing.
have to take these vaccines? Like, the thing is, they're saying this new virus is evading them quickly, and I just don't know if manufacturer can keep up with that type of mutation. I really don't know, because I don't know how they can make it fast enough
Uh,
to get it out with efficacy and safety. That's my concern, and that's why for me, I really, I haven't taken that. I took it the first time, and then after that, no, because I feel like I'm physically in shape, and I ain't had no problem. So yeah.
yeah. All right. Hey, we're gonna say we're gonna have a long weekend, and don't forget the Sailor Show tonight. He lives in Houston, Texas, so he's right down there with you, Ashton.
Oh, cool.
So he comes in at 5 o'clock on our IntervisionFM.com station
Oh
for
wow.
like from 5 to 8, and
Uh,
he really does a good job. He's a young man, and just giving him a chance to get out there and do his thing on the radio. So
oh wow. Oh
Amen.
wow.
We try to
Well, I'm proud of you guys.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Ashton. Hey, one quick thing before we go. How do they get a hold of somebody like yourself? You're a Special Olympic gold medal recipient.
yes, let us know.
Yeah,
Give your
they can get in touch with me. Go click on meetashtonsmith.com, meetashtonsmith.com, and you can also buy my book, Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. Swimming Upstream to Realize the Dream. That book is on Walmart and Amazon online. I think you folks will like that. Google my story, meetashtonsmith.com. You can also Google me, Ashton Smith, or Special Olympics Ashton Smith, and you will see that, and that'll come up, and you guys will see more about me.
okay.
Thank
Don't
you
forget,
guys
yeah.
so much on
Oh
this
yeah.
hot day in Texas. Temperatures today in Texas will reach 111 degrees.
Wow.
So if you have pets and people and things outside, you might want to do that before 12 o'clock, because after 12 o'clock, the heat is hot enough to kill you. Check on your pets, elderlies, and people. God bless
Yes.
y'all.
All right. God bless you. And don't forget to share, subscribe, and like the show as well. So, all right. See you
Love y'all.
guys next week.
You too. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be blessed.
Da-da-da.